Again, Shabbat Shalom on this Parshat Pinchas. On this Shabbat Pinchas, we read about Pinchas, who at the very end of last week's Parsha literally skewered two people who were having a relationship that was somewhat verboten, I take it. Somewhat of a zealot, which explains why in the word shalom, in the first pasuk, the first line of our parsha, the vav in the word shalom is a broken vav. It's a broken peace, because no peace can be a real peace when it comes about by violence. However, not going to be concentrating on Pinchas, but rather this question, which is, who says that God's mind cannot be changed? And in order to answer that question, leaning into the Daughters of Zelphechad, the story of the Daughters of Zelphechad, with some wonderful surprises before the end of this morning's Devar Torah. תקרבנה בנות צלפחד, ואלה שמו בנותיו מחלה, נועה, וחגלה, ומילכה, ותרצה. The daughters of Zelphechad. Their names were Machla, Noah, Chagla, Milka, and Tirza. Now, what is so special about these daughters of a man named Zelphechad? Well, they brought a complaint before Moshe, who of course is the arbiter of all things legal, based upon Moshe's conversation with divinity. And the daughters say to Moshe, our father died in the wilderness and left no sons. Let not our father's name be lost to his clan because he had no sons. Give us a holding among our father's kinsmen. Now, we need to know, of course, and review that the laws of inheritance only went through the sons. And the daughters, in a rightful and righteous complaint here, and bringing it up before Moshe, that they should have an inheritance as well, that they should belong as much as the men do to the inheritance that were going to come to the people when they entered the land. So, what does Moshe do? Moshe scratches his head, and of course Moshe brings the argument to Hashem. And here's what Moshe says. V'yikarev Moshe et mishpatan lifnei Adonai. So, Moshe, he brought the argument of this law, or the question, he drew close to Adonai, and Vayomer Adonai Moshe lemor. So Moshe tells God what's going on, and Yud He Vav He explains, Cain benot Zelphechad. You know what? They are right. Give them their father's share. B'toch achi avihem v'avarta et nachalat avihen lahem. Give them the portion that is rightfully theirs. In this way, the daughters now have a great sense of belonging, a greater sense of belonging than they had before, because they are giving their rightful inheritance by Moshe. And that will be understood by all of the clans to be just as worthy as the inheritance of the men. Just to review for a moment. Malcha, Noah, Chogla, Milka, Tirza, the daughters of Zelphechad faced disenfranchisement because their father died without sons, threatening to erase his name from their clan. The father's name would basically disappear, and they boldly demand a place in the community, and God rules in their favor, permanently updating the law so women can inherit. This ensures that familial belonging and property rights belongs to daughters as well as sons. Daughters of Zelphechad. They now belong in much the same way as those who have gained citizenship to our country, who have paid the dues, have gone through the process, and you're in for a treat. Because this morning, I want to make the parallel between Parshat Pinchas and the acquisition of American citizenship. Parshat Pinchas, the daughters of Zelphechad find themselves outside the established legal framework for land ownership. They refuse to accept invisibility, approach the leadership, and advocate for their legal inclusion. How is that parallel to the acquisition of American citizenship? Well, immigrants often live for years on the margins of full legal belonging as visa holders or permanent residents. The naturalization process is a proactive step to move from a resident bystander to an equal, fully recognized stakeholder. In Parshat Pinchas, the core of the daughters' petition is to prevent their father's name and legacy from being erased. Belonging means having your family's story woven into the permanent fabric of the land. American citizenship, as parallel in our Parsha, naturalization guarantees that an immigrant's children automatically inherit citizenship. It ensures that a family's future generations permanently belong to the nation, securing their right to vote, hold office, and build a lasting legacy. And finally, in Parshat Pinchas, we have a census. In the portion physically counts every household, and this administrative act is deeply personal because it validates that every person counted as a tangible piece of land waiting for them. And in American citizenship, the naturalization ceremony mirrors this formal recognition. Taking the oath of allegiance is a public, administrative, and deeply emotional ritual where the government formally acknowledges you are now one of us, and you have an equal stake in this nation. On this Shabbat Pinchas, may we all be blessed with a sense of belonging. A sense of belonging to our families, to our people, to our nation, and to the world. Shabbat Shalom.